Hello everyone, this is Yamin and welcome to Laravel Hospital Management System project tutorial. Now in the previous tutorial we show the doctor details and we also have a delete option so that we can delete the doctor. Now in this tutorial I am going to show you how we can update a specific doctor data over here. So what will happen is someone click the update button, then it will take us to another page with the certain doctor data and we'll be able to edit there or update their data. So first of all, let's go back to our code and we'll directly go to our views, then admin, then show doctor.blade.php, and if we go down you can see that inside this td we have a update button. So inside this href we are going to mention a url. We are going to say, let's say, update doctor, and we also need to send a doctor ID from here, but we'll do it later so that I can explain it to you more easily. So let's just first create the update view. So now we'll go to our routes, then web.php, and let me just copy this route, Ctrl C and Ctrl V. So our URL name will be update doctor, and let's say our function name will be update doctor as well, and we'll use the admin controller for this. So let's save it. Now we need to go to our admin controller, so we'll go to http controllers admin controller. So here we are going to create the function update doctor. So we'll say public function update doctor, and here we are just going to return a view first. So we'll say return view, and inside it we'll say admin dot, let's say our page name will be update underscore doctor. And now we'll go to our admin folder and create this update doctor blade. So let's go to our admin folder and right click on it, then new file, and here we'll say update underscore doctor dot blade dot php. So Ctrl S and save. So right now let me just say something simple over here, and inside this body we'll say h on, and let's say update page, save it, and let's now just refresh here. Now if we click this update button it will take us to another page and it says update page. So now we are going to copy some code from our home.blade.php, and here you can see, let me just copy everything, Ctrl A, Ctrl C, and we'll paste it inside update doctor.blade.php. So Ctrl V, and let me just remove this admin.body part, and if we save it now, and if we just refresh over here, and if we click the update button, now here you can see at the top we have the url update doctor over here. So the thing is, whenever the user click this update button, it should take us to the page with this doctor data, right? So what we are going to do is that we'll go to our show doctor.blade.php, and here inside this href we are going to mention the doctor id just like before we did for the delete. So let me just keep over here comma, and we'll say dollar doctor, then this arrow sign id. So we'll save it. Now we'll go to our web.php and we need to catch this id. So we'll go to web.php, and here we are just going to give a slash, then we'll say here id, and we are sending this id to our admin controller update doctor function. So let's go to admin controller, then update doctor function. Here you can see, so we'll say here dollar id, and after this we need to declare a variable. We'll say dollar, let's say data is equal to, you can declare any variable you want. Now we need to say our table name, which is doctor double clone find, and to first bracket inside it we need to say dollar id. So what will happen is that if someone click this update button, then our this url will get the specific id, send it to our web.php, and our web.php will send it to our admin controller over here. And using this dollar data variable, here you can see dollar data find id, it means it will search the specific id in our database and then store that specific data in this dollar data variable. So we need to send this dollar data to our view. So we'll say compact, and inside to first bracket we are going to say data. So let's save it. So now we are actually sending the specific doctor data to our this update doctor view. So now we'll go to our update doctor.blade.php, and let me just copy a div from show doctor.blade.php. So let me just copy this, Control C, and I'll paste it over here, and I will in this div. And here let me just show you the database first. If you go to our database and if you go to our doctor table, so here you can see all the doctor's name, phone, specialty, room, and image. So we want to show all those data at the update page. So for it, let me just show you the basic. Now we are sending the dollar data from here. So if we just say over here to second bracket, and inside it, if we just say dollar data, and if we just say name, and after name let's just check we have phone, specialty, room. Okay, so let me just copy this on, Control C, Control V. Okay, let's just say over here phone, and let's say here room, and if we save it and if we refresh now over here, so if we click it, it will get the specific ID of this data and show its data to other page. So if you click update, okay, for some reason the CSS is missing, it cannot find the public folder, but at the down you can see the name, phone number, and the room number as well. So let me just fix this first. So if you go to our update doctor.blade.php, and at the top we are just going to say, inside the head we are going to say base, and inside this href we need to give slash public. Now if you miss the slash it won't work. So if we save it and if we refresh now, everything should be fine. Okay, so here you can see the doctor name, then the doctor phone number, and the doctor room number. Let me just check it for another one. If we click this one, here you can see different name, different phone number, and different room number. So obviously we cannot show it like this, we need to show it in a proper way. Now if you go to our add doctor, you can see a design like this. So we are going to create a same design for our update doctor page. So for it, let's go back to our code again, and here let me just remove this part, and here let me will declare a div, and inside this div let's just say class equal to container, and it will be align center, and let's also add the style, it will be padding 100 px. So inside this we need to declare a form or create a form, and we'll now say another div, and inside this div we'll have a label, and let's say it will be doctor name and a input field for doctor name. So we'll say input, so input type will be text, and name is equal to, let's say, name only, and it will have a value, and what will be the value will be this one, dollar data name, just like before we showed a doctor name. And let me just copy this on, Control C, and I'll paste it 4 times, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So after name we have our doctor phone number, let's just say only phone, and here the type will be number, and here the value will be phone. And after phone we have the doctor specialty, and type will be text, and dollar data specialty. And after this we have the doctor room number, let's just say room, and here the type will be, let's say, text, that's okay, and dollar data room. So if we save it now, and let me just uh, click this doctor Smith, here you can see doctor name is Smith. So if you click it, okay, you can see the doctor name, but the text color is white actually, that's why we are unable to see it. So let me just change the text color for them. So let me just say inside this input field, let's just say style, and we'll say color, it will be black. So now let me just copy this on style, Control C, and I will paste it inside every input field. So now Control V, and if we save it and if we refresh, here you can see the doctor name, phone number perfectly. Now this one will be actually doctor image. So we'll do it later, but let me just fix the style first. We'll go to our, here you can see we declare a div. Now inside this div we'll declare a style, and we'll say padding, it will be 15 px. And let me also copy this one, Control C, and I'll paste it inside every div. Control V, Control S, and if we refresh now, we'll see some gap over here. So you can see that it created some gap. Now we need to like align them a little bit. So for it, let me just go directly at the top. Inside this head, we are going to mention a style here. We'll say style, and let's say here label, and inside this label let's say display, it will be inline block, and we'll also say width, it will be 200 px. So if we save it now and if we refresh, you will see the level in different position, you can see that. So now we have another one, which is this one, it will be doctor image actually. So let's go back to our code and we directly go down, and let's say here instead of doctor name we'll say old image. So we'll show the old image. So in order to show image we need to use image tag, not input type. So we'll say image. Now here we need to mention the image source. Now we saved our image, all the doctor image inside this doctor image folder. So we are going to say here doctor image, then slash, and we'll give 2-second bracket, and inside it we'll say dollar data arrow sign image. So let me just explain this a little bit. If you go to our database, you can see a lot of image over here. So it will get the specific image and it will search for the specific image inside this folder and then show it. So let me also just mention the height and width. Let's say height will be on 50 and width will be on 50. So save it and let's refresh here. So here you can see the old image. So now we will have another option to change the image. So for it, let's go back to our code, and let me just mention a div over here, another div, and inside it we'll say add a label, it will be change image, and we'll have an input type. This time the input type will be file, and we also need to mention the name. Let's say name equal to file as well. And let's also, let me just copy this style, Control C, Control V, and we also require a submit button. So let me just copy this div, and here we are just going to say input type, it will be submit, and it do not, submit button do not require any name. So we'll say here a class, bootstrap class, we'll say btn 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 btn, let's say primary. So save it, and if we refresh now, here you can see the old image and a change image option and a submit button. So now let's go back to our code, and we'll directly go to our, here you can see form, our form started from here. So we need to mention the action, then the method, and we also need to say here enc type since we want to send file. So we will say multipart slash form minus data, and we also need to mention the at the rate of CSRF. So the method will be post since we want to update the data. So and the action, we need to mention the action. So let's say URL here, URL, and we'll say, and let's say here just edit doctor, and we'll give a comma, and we'll mention the dollar data ID, dollar data ID. So now let's save it, and now we'll go to our route and create this URL. So let's go to our web.php, and let me just copy this on, Control C and Control V. Here we are going to say edit doctor, and our function name will be edit doctor, and we are also sending the ID. So now let's go to our admin controller, and let me just say here public function edit doctor, then we are going to mention the ID. So we'll say dollar ID, and first of all we need to declare variable. Let's say here doctor, we need to get the specific doctor over here. So we'll say dollar doctor then find, then we'll say dollar id. So we'll find the specific doctor, and after that here you can see that we are sending the emails and a lot of other data. So for it we need to also mention the request over here. So we'll say request dollar request, then comma dollar id. So here let me just first of all get all the data like doctor name and phone number. So for it we just need to say dollar doctor, this arrow sign, then let me just show you the database. Here you can see we have the name, phone, specialty, room and image. So over here we need to say the name that we have in the database, and then we need to say here request, this request, then arrow sign, and this request is actually this one, and we are actually requesting the data from our update doctor blade. And here you can see that the name is also name. So we are going to say name, and after name we have the doctor phone number, then specialty, and then the image. So let me just write all of them for okay. So let's say here phone number, let's say phone, and after phone we have the doctor specialty, and after specialty we have the room number, and let's just say here room, and let me just save it. And I did not give the name for phone, specialty and room in the update doctor view, so let me just change their name. Here you can see name. So this one is for phone, we'll say phone, and this one is for specialty, specialty, and name we have the room, so let's say name equal to room. Now for image we need to do it a little differently. So let me just here declare a variable, let's say dollar image equal to, we'll say dollar request, this arrow sign, file. So we are actually requesting the file from our update doctor.blade.php. Here you can see name is equal to file. So that file is now inside this image variable. Now here we are going to declare another variable, let's say here dollar image name is equal to time to first bracket, then we'll give a dot, then we'll give two single quotation, and inside this we need to give another dot, and after them we need to give another dot. Now we need to declare this mention this dollar image over here. So we'll say dollar image, this arrow sign, and we need to say get, then capital O original client, capital C CLI client extension, capital E extension. So let me just explain this line a little bit. That is we are first of all getting the image, and we are actually changing that image name using a time function. So every image in the database will have a unique name. So after this we'll say, let me just copy this, Control C, and we'll say dollar request file, then this arrow sign, move to first bracket, and inside it we need to give the folder name, which was doctor image. So let me just say doctor image, and we need to give a comma, and at last we need to say this dollar image name. So let me just copy it and paste it. So what will happen is that the requested file will be moved to our doctor image folder, and its name will be this one. So and at the end we just need to say this variable dollar doctor. So we'll say dollar doctor, this arrow sign, we need to say image. Now this image is coming from the database, obviously image variable, so equal to, we will just say dollar image name. So now only one thing is left, and that is dollar doctor save. And after saving the data we want to stay on the same page, so we'll say return redirect, and it will be this arrow sign back. So it will keep us on the same page. Now there is one more thing, and that is the user may not always want to like change the image from here. So here we need to mention a if condition. We'll say if dollar image, and we'll give two second bracket, and let me just remove this, and this second bracket will end after this, And now this three line of code only get execute if the user want to change image. Like if the user give image over here, only then this three line will execute, otherwise it will not. So let me just save it and let me just refresh over here. So now let me just change the doctor name from here. Let's say here Kevin, and let's change the room number to 704. And let me also change the, okay, let me just keep the image for now. And now if you click the submit button, okay, the post method is not supported for this route. So if you go to our route, okay, this method will be post. So let me say post and save it now, and let me just refresh, then click continue. So here you can see that doctor name is changed. If you go to our database and refresh here, you can see that the doctor name is changed. So now this time let's try to update the doctor image. So let's choose file. Then I already download some doctor images. So let me just say here doctor, let's choose this one and click open. And if you click submit, so I did a mistake over here. I write get original client extension. So it actually will be get client original extension. So let me just go to our admin controller, and let me just say here get, and let me just say here get client original extension. So now let's save it, and now if we refresh, it should work. Here you can see that the doctor image is changed. So if you go to all doctors, you can see here the Dr. Luffy, then the phone number, specialty. So let me just also do one more thing, is that when the doctor changes that image, it will show us a message that doctor updated successfully. So for it, let me just I will just directly go to my add_doctor.blade.php, and over here you can see that a if condition. So let me just copy this if condition. So this if condition is for showing the message. So I will paste the if condition, let's say after this div class, control V, and I'll go to our admin controller, and here return redirect back, we'll say with, and inside it we are going to say message, then comma, and here we'll say doctor details updated successfully. So now if we save it, and let me just go to our update doc, and let me just explain it. Here in the admin controller you can see that we say with message, and here in this if condition we are checking if there is any message. If there is any message, then we are showing the message, and we also have a button, close button over here, so that we can close the message. Okay, let me just have this if message condition after this div container, div class container. So control V, control S, and let me just click this on. Let's just change the image. Let's choose the sixth image. Let's click open, and if you click submit, here you can see doctor updated successfully, and here you can see the image is also changed. So this is all for this tutorial. So thank you very much for watching, and if you face any problem, then let me know in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe. Stay tuned, stay healthy.